with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Two other divisions on the card, Super Stocks with 18 drivers on hand, and your non-wing 410 sprint cars with 22 drivers on the grounds. If you're looking for the lineup of drivers here this evening, you can find that, of course, at the USAC merchandise trailer for only $1 while supplies last. You can also go to our social media feeds on Facebook, Instagram, and X, as that has also been posted out to social media. Points battle, it is tight coming into this weekend's racing action. Of course, this is the first of 3 events in USAC competition, the first of 2 for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Cannon McIntosh leads the way, 910 points earned so far. Justin Grant, who had the lead, surrendering it during our Mid-America Midget Week run at 907. Jacob Denny at 869. Cale Drake currently 4th in points at 825. Kevin Thomas Jr. 5th at 802. 789 for Gavin Miller. Logan Seavey not in action here tonight. He has made his way out to California to take on the Louisville Classic down at Calistoga. He currently rides in 7th. That opens the door for Drake Edwards, Steven Snyder Jr., and Gunnar Setzer to all make up positions in the current top 10 standings. Of course, talked about 3 events for the United States Auto Club this weekend. Tomorrow, we head down the road to the Magic Mile of DuQuoin for the Ted Horn 100. That'll be the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds in Illinois. And then Sunday, the Firemen's Nationals, the $10,000 check up for grabs up at Angel Park Speedway up in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Looking ahead to next weekend, Tri-City Speedway in Granite City, the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship back in action. That'll be at Granite City. Lucas Oil Speedway for the Rada Supply Diamond Dirt Duel. The Diamond of Dirt tracks in Wheatland on September 6th. Back into Indiana, Circle City Raceway. That'll be on September 12th. The Hopstop Hustler down at Tri-State on September 13th. And then 4 Crown Nationals kicks off on September 18th. That's a 3-night affair this year, the 18th, 19th, and 20th out of Rossburg, Ohio. And then Paragon Speedway back in action on September 26th with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Of course, you can see all of our schedules when you go online to usacracing.com. If you're just joining us here on the FloRacing broadcast, again, 25 drivers on hand. That'll give us 3 heat races this evening. Your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event, and, of course, tonight's A main event going 30 laps. A little bit of track prep continuing here at Bloomington Speedway. When you make your way up to the USAC merchandise trailer, a brand new lineup of hats are in stock. Of course, we got those when we were up at the SmackDown this past weekend. Make sure and grab a brand new USAC hat. Of course, all the favorites designs of years past, those are also back in stock, so make sure and stop by. The blankets are back in stock, and it is starting to cool off a little bit, so that's definitely something you might want to grab while supplies last. There are more hoodies and T-shirts on the way, so make sure and stop in. Of course, if you can't find it there, usacgear.com is where you can shop 24/7 online. Looking at the order of events, of course, engine heat has already taken place for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Drivers firing just off of the back straightaway, then heading back into the pits. We'll start things off with cars on track with your non-wing sprint cars. They will have their hot laps and group qualifying. We'll come back with our dirt draft hot laps for the midgets, and then follow up with Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Opening ceremonies to follow that. We'll start the night off with our sprint car heat races. USAC Midget heat races. Super Stocks also on the card. They'll have their heat races. USAC semi-feature events. Sprint car B-main, if needed. We'll have a little bit of an intermission following that. We'll start off the features with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Sprint cars and Super Stocks tentatively set to round out the night. So why choose AMSOIL lubricants? Well, 3 reasons: power, performance, and protection. They design specialized lubricants engineered for what you drive and how you drive. Visit AMSOIL.com to learn more. At the top of the hill where all the merchandise is set up, whether it's the USAC merchandise trailer or any of the driver merchandise stands, you can also stop by and get a complimentary can of NOS Energy Drink. It's time to get after it. Grab a NOS Energy today and follow them on social media at NOS Energy Drink. Throughout the 2025 season, you can be part of the action with a chance to win with Play USAC, offering you, the fans, ways to put money in your favorite drivers with top sports books and daily fantasy providers offering odds and exclusive sign-up offers for USAC racing fans. There's never been a better time to give it a try. Go to nxtbets.com/PlayUSAC for more information, or if you're on the broadcast, you can scan the code to see what's available in your state. Void where prohibited, must be 21 years or older to participate. Play responsibly. Fight back against addiction at 1-800-GAMBLER. A look at the odds coming into tonight. These are supplied to the United States Auto Club by NXTBets.com. They put Cannon McIntosh as the odds-on favorite, plus 150. Jacob Denny at a plus 338. Justin Grant at a 386. Kevin Thomas Jr. at an 853. A little bit further down, Thomas Meserol at a 3233. And Drake Edwards, they put as a little bit of a long shot here, 41-19. But remember, when our drivers win, you win when you play along at NXTBets.com/PlayUSAC. Cookout presents always fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, hot dogs, all cooked fresh every day. And get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes, all prepared fresh and made by hand every day. It's all yours. Find a Cookout location near you. Visit cookout.com. Racing Electronics has over 30 years of experience and serves every major form of auto racing. Don't forget to bring your scanner the next time you're at a USAC national event, as all of our broadcast audio is available at frequency 454.5000. You can also shop online at racingelectronics.com or call them at 1-800-272-7111. Sunoco is the official race field of USAC Racing. As the world's largest manufacturer of racing fuels, Sunoco has been the standard of motorsports for over 50 years. Known for innovation, consistency, and high performance, Sunoco Fuels has been the choice of racers in virtually every form of motorsports. From grassroots tracks to premier international series. Committed to support of the racing community, Sunoco powers champions and fuels unforgettable moments at the track. Non-wing sprint cars starting to make their way out to the Speedway. Dr. Pat Sullivan will have the call with sprint cars.
Thank you very much, Brian. Indeed, the Portland sprint cars are on the racetrack right now. We got a tight points battle here as well. Ty Mahako is your point leader at Bloomington Speedway. As you know, he's a three-time Lincoln Park Speedway champion. But additionally, this is a ticket to Tulsa race. That is a promotion that is contested between both Paragon Speedway and here. Up for grabs. An opportunity to get a ride at Chase Briscoe Racing at the Chili Bowl Nationals. So that's a pretty big, important thing for folks to try to get their hands on. Now, just paying attention to that at the moment. Jordan Kidser, most recent winner, 616 points. Trey Osborne, 608. Matt Thompson, 563. Todd Hobson at 562. And then we'll get to the top five. It's Andrew Prather at 428. So hot laps and qualifying are one of the same. There is Jordan Kidser. He's a former track champion here at Bloomington Speedway. In car number 75, that's Daryl Tate's car. Also out at this time, Harley Burns. He too a former Bloomington Speedway track champion. His father a former Lincoln Park Speedway track champion. He is in car 16B. He's from Brazil, Indiana. Cameron LaRose from Phoenix, Arizona is in the 13P. Cameron's been a winner this year at Paragon Speedway. Todd Hobson, as we just mentioned, well in the points in the ticket to Tulsa, the Clyde Victoria Australia driver at 77 points. Cody Tramble picked up a 305 win here last week, the 34T. And Steven Schnaff, one of the drivers doing double duty tonight. He'll also be in a midget. He is out in the 39S. Kyle Willis from North Vernon is in the 5W. Qualifying within groups, qualifying just against each other. We're buzzing a racetrack right now, trying to get into final shape. Rusty Nunn in the flag stand. There's Todd Hobson in the 77. Todd's been fast here. He's also had some tough luck here. There's Cameron LaRose in the Avante Windows and Doors entry from Phoenix, Arizona. Trey Osborne, by the way, another Nicky Knows Nothing posted on Bloomington Speedway's Facebook page. Trey is absolutely gracious in those. He's funny as my daughter asks questions about things she truly does not know about the sport. Many think, well, she's been around me forever, therefore, no, you can stop right there. She was off doing gymnastics or going to college, rarely spent time at the racetrack, and asked questions that really, frankly, some race fans would like to ask as well. And Trey was great. Also did one with Cale Drake and Gavin Miller, two drivers she conversed with at a function at the USAC office earlier this year. So Jordan Kinzer wins here on a night that we saluted Kelly Kinzer with wing sprint cars. He's a guy who has won, if there has been a named race in this part of the country, whether it's the Amante over at Paragon Speedway or a Kinzer race here, he seems to be the guy who has won in that particular event. My daughter Nikki is here. Nikki, what was the highlight of the conversation with Cale Drake and Gavin Miller?
You'll hear about it when I announce them here shortly.
Well, how about Trey Osborne?
I don't know that we got this on film, but if you haven't seen Trey, he's very tall, and he can somehow fit in the smallest space I've ever seen in my life.
Now that's sort of amazed you. He had to demonstrate actually how he pulled that off, and then you were surprised to hear that he had raced Midgets. It's even smaller. How do you think he fits in there?
He said he didn't.
Oh, no, he has. Yeah,
He said he doesn't fit anymore.
Oh, what did Brian just tell you?
I understand, but in the interview, you all can go watch it, and you can fact check me. He said he does not fit.
So we got some other information on Trey Osborne. Very good. One of the great things we've talked about before with the race receiver system is that we can use that also to help sort of move the drivers around to manicure the racetrack. And that's what's going on right now. All right, here we go. Four laps are available for these drivers in this qualifying session. They're qualifying against each other. And so this is heat race number one of three for the Ford Performance Racing School sprint cars this evening. Rusty Nunn, the veteran in the flag stand. Looks like Harley Burns has slowed to a stop. So we got two of the four in. Okay, that session is completed. And who's the fastest, Nikki?
Tall Trey Osborne at 11.863.
Yep, Trey Osborne gets it done. Jordan Kinzer, very much in the points equation, 12.105. Harley Burns turned to 12.116. Steven Schnaff, 12.230. Todd Hobson, 12.308. That might be a 9. Yep. Cameron LaRose, 12.371. Cody Tramble, 12.497. And Kyle Willis, 13.164. Ty Mahako will be out in the 24P from Peoria, Arizona. Ben Voigtchild from Bedford in the 1. Matt Goodnight from Winchester, the 39. Braxton Cummins, the 71B. Jaden Rogers, the 14. Nate Bell from Paragon in the 7. And Austin Corey from Moorestown in the 00. Yeah, so many of you around here know that Ty Mahako races for Jamie Paul, 24P. Again, a 3-time Lincoln Park Speedway champion and current Bloomington Speedway point leader, is nicknamed the Bull. He told my daughter that he'd rather have the nickname what?
The Rattlesnake.
The Rattlesnake, appropriate for Arizona. Now, he's a funny guy. I don't know if he's pulling your leg. He works down a DRC chassis when he's not behind the wheel of a race car. Matt Goodnight, Big Matt, who's been a stalwart on the Silver Crown Series for many years. He hasn't run the full time this year, but has been a top 10 runner. Braxton Cummings also doing double duty. We saw him last year at the Chili Bowl Nationals. He's in the 71B. Jaden Rogers, he's in the points battle here at Bloomington Speedway. He's the 3-time winner over the course of the year, former USAC Rookie of the Year. Paragon's Nate Bell in the 7, and Austin Corey the 00. Again, they have 4 laps available to them, qualifying against each other, qualifying in groups. That's an irrigation ditch there. Interesting looking back to a story of the racetrack when Diz Wilson and Wayne Padgett reconfigured in 1947. And one of the ads here had said that there were 2 springs that were here to satisfy the thirst of race fans. One of them is where that irrigation ditch is. The other was located off of turns 1 and 2. That was diverted to the creek. Braxton Cummins, we mentioned doing double duty. They started 12.227 Ty Mahako, 24P. There's Braxton sort of slowing. He may have been trying to create a little space there. Give him an opportunity to stretch his legs a little bit. That's always one of the issues when it comes to group qualifying. We got one off of the back stretch. think we're going to go with Jaden Rogers, Worthington, Indiana driver. It is always interesting to watch where the fastest lap in a group qualifying session goes. And it's pretty rare to have the top three do it on the final lap. At the top of the heap is
Jaden Rogers coming in at 11.942. And then in their second is Braxton Cummings at 11.970, followed by Matt Goodnight at 12.042, Ty Mahako 12.223, and in fifth, Austin Corey 12.351, followed by Ben Voigtchild at 13.006. 7, we have Nate Bell at 13.610.
Yep,
and that rounds us out.
That rounds us out, so Jaden Rogers doing a great job. Our final group will be on track. Well, Matt Thompson's very much in the equation for the ticket to Tulsa. The Bloomington driver, car number 26, will be out.
And in the 22, we have Brandon Spencer.
Sam Hines from Westfield, the 71H, is out.
And in the 67L of Martinsville, Indiana, we have Josh Lane.
Chance Crown from Sonomas, Washington in the 83C.
Followed by Hunter Maddox of right here in Bloomington, Indiana in the 24M.
And Zach Pretorius from Yorktown in the 9C. Want to give a shout out to Sam Hines in the 71H, won his first sprint car race this year at Paragon Speedway. We have a variety of different things we've had to do here at Bloomington Speedway this year, just sort of rebuilding the infrastructure little by little. And Sam actually has been out here providing a lot of help to us all really summer long. We've had a variety of things, and there he's been, which has been a great deal of fun. So maybe not fun for him, but appreciated by us.
Pat, we're getting her the full setup here.
How about that?
She's got the headphones. She's got her own mic. This is proof you don't need to know anything to do this.
There you go.
Got to turn that on, though.
That's not true. It is very stressful. And I don't care about public speaking. It does not bother me, but this is stressful.
So when you've seen these videos, by the way,
your dad talks with his hands. You gotta be on the lookout.
Nikki, when she asks Trey, "What do you mean a magneto?" That's not a theoretical. That's not a hypothetical question.
No, and actually, there's a lot of people that don't realize the ignition systems on these cars. It's not what you'd find on your standard Chevy V8. There's not a battery that's all self-sustained within a magneto system.
How did he say it was different than your car, Nikki?
You turn it on and it makes noise.
Yes. Said your car, you turn it on, it makes noise. It doesn't work that way here. So it's been fun.
I'm also realizing now I know your voice. I mean, you in your face for the first time.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
It's not. But I've heard your voice for many years on the radio. That is something I do know.
All righty, here we go. Well, Hunter Maddox, who has been honored by the United States Auto Club, 24M machined, 11.730.
We have Matt Thomas at 11.783. Thompson, my bad.
Got Mike Thompson's well up in the ticket to Tulsa points. Zach Pretorius, the 9Z. On his fourth lap, turned to the best lap of his session, 12.060.
Coming in next is Chance Crum at 12.243.
Brandon Spencer, the 22. Boy, he shows a lot of speed at times over the course of the year, 12.358.
Follow next at 12.360 comes in Sam Hines.
And then Josh Lane, 67L, 12.499. Of course, those qualifying efforts will help set up our 3 heat races for later tonight. Brian, looks like the Midgets are on track.
Indeed, thank you very much. They will have their first of 3 Dirt Draft Hot Lap sessions. Make sure and download the Dirt Draft app today. Set up your league to play against your friends, your family, even your neighbor. Use referral code USAC use referral code USAC when signing up for a $20 digital gift card where you can shop online at usacgear.com. Again, 25 drivers on hand here tonight for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Rolling down the front straightaway. Driver to Vion, California. Driver of the NOS Energy Drink, pristineauction.com, Mobile One Toyota Racing Development, CB Industries, Spike Chassis number 87. That is Justin Grand. Justin Grand in the number 87. The 19 AZ at the exit of turn number 2. That's Hayden Reinbold of the Gilbert, Arizona. The AME Electrical Indy Race Parts Stanton Spike Chassis number 19. Driver rolling in behind him should be the 14. That is Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama. Driver of the Metalloid 1, AcroSeal. NW Manufacturing, Inferno Armor, Stanton SR11, Link Chassis number 14. Driver rolling around to the front straightaway right now. That's going to be Cale Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana. Driver of the Curb Records, Coletta Charters, Impact, Stanton Shores Chassis number 63. The driver in 4 at a Rising Sun, Maryland, the RMS Racing EnviroFab Valco. Number 4, that is Steven Snyder Jr. And the 8X on the list here, Jeff Schindler of Evansville, Indiana. Driver of the United Mechanical, Felker Esslinger, Spike Chassis, Independence Contracting, number 8X. Driver in 11 out of Newburgh, Indiana. That's Steven Schnapp. He's driver of the Martins Auto Care Incorporated. Esslinger Spike number 11S, making his way through turns 1 and 2. Looking around the track, seeing if there's anybody else we need to introduce to you. One of those drivers in 17, Alex Shipman. He's out of Bedford, Indiana. Driver of the Revolution Bodyworks, the Ace Corporation, Terry Cummings Racing Engines. Spike Chassis number 17 as the field will begin to come to life here for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. And Justin Grant going to start off quick here. Driver of that NOS Energy number 87 out of Ione, California. Quickest in this opening final hot laps, a 12.038 second lap, 12.038 for Justin Grant. Steven Snyder Jr. a 12.051 second quick. Kevin Thomas Jr. 12.214. Cale Coons a 12.271 and Hayden Reinbold 12.435. Your 5 quickest drivers in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Of course, Grant coming off of his 5th career score in the Elliott's Custom Trailers Kart Sprint Car Smackdown up at Kokomo this last week. First time back behind the wheel of USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship machine since his accident during Indiana Sprint Week that unfortunately caused a break and a surgery on his left foot. A lot of engineering, a lot of work going on to get him seated down in that car safely and comfortably so he's still able to work the brake on that machine. Dennis Lacava doing a ton of work in fabricating, designing, and getting all that set up for the driver of the number 87. As Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 2 makes its way out to the Speedway. First driver to tell you about out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Driver the Joyous Seating, Walker Filtration, Arai, Bundy Built Honda Spike number 19M. That's Little Bundy, Ethan Mitchell. Ethan Mitchell in the 19. The 21, Justin Dickerson out of Pittsburgh, Indiana, the Indy Performance Composites. MPD Toyota Link Chassis number 21D, making his way through turns 1 and 2. Mac Leopard out of Beaver Creek, Ohio, the PristineAuction.com, Toyota Racing Development, Mobile 1, number 86. He rolls onto the back straightaway. And the driver rolling in behind him, that is Braxton Cummings out of Bedford, Indiana, the Revolution Body Works Esslinger Spike Chassis number 71B. Jacob Denny out of Galloway, Ohio, the JBL Audio TRD Mobile 1 Toyota number 67. He's out on the Speedway making his way through turns 3 and 4. And the driver behind him is going to be Drake Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona. Driver of the Avante Windows and Doors, PristineAuction.com, Speedway Toyota Spike CB Industries number 83. Driver in 7, that is Team-Ez Thomas Meserol out of San Jose, California. Driver of the England Machine and Tool, Team-Ez TV EA Stealth Spike Chassis number 7. He makes his way just past the flag stand in that EA Stealth number 7. Drivers begin to wind up here. We go to green at Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 2. Jacob Denny to the top of the charts here, 11.930, 11.930 for Jacob Denny. Justin Grant second quick now at a 12.038. Steven Steiner Jr. 12.051. Kevin Thomas Jr. 12.412. And Ethan Mitchell fifth quick at a 12.256. Drake Edwards, Kel Coons, Hayden Reinbold, Steven Schnapp, and Mac Leopard make up the top 10. Official one-lap track record established in June of 2016 by Christopher Bell out of Norman, Oklahoma, 11.301, 79.639 miles per hour. Colton Robinson out to the Speedway here for Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 3 at Titusville, Florida. The Precise Tooling Solutions, TRD Mobile 1 Curb Records number 67K. In fact, we've got some giveaways courtesy of Robinson sitting here up in the tower. We'll be tossing those out here after a little bit. Out of New Berlin, Illinois, by way of Wyoming originally, the Performance Driveline, Jake Newman Racing, Toyota Link Chassis number 56X. That is Mark Chisholm. Mark Chisholm in at the number 56. Gavin Miller on the Speedway, driver of the Sound Gear, TRD Mobile 1 Curb Records number 97. He makes his way over into turns 1 and 2. The 20Q, Brecken Reese out of Canyon, Texas, the Sierra Towing and Crushing, Sonny's Grocery, Silver Dollar Speedway of Lubbock, Texas, D&D Racing, Moving Dirt, Chandler Grand Prix number 20Q. Driving to Collinsville, Oklahoma, the Eibach Toyota KKM Give Back Classic, Curb Records number 97K. Duke of Curls, Cale Drake on the Speedway, makes his way onto the far side of the racetrack. And just past the flag stand out of Belpre, Ohio, driver of the Odell Trucking, S2 Cybersecurity, Speedway Total Link Chassis number 97X. This is Zach Weigel. Zach Weigel in at the number 97. And pulling onto the Speedway out of Bixby, Oklahoma, driver of the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records, KKM Curb, I got Genie number 71K. That is Cannon McIntosh. Cannon McIntosh in the number 71K. Gunner sets are also out to the Speedway out of Columbus, Indiana, driver of the Midwest 2 Mills, Bart Properties. The cure starts now. Sets are fabricating. Lynch Machining number 43. The 14JB, that is Jacob Boxell out of Zanesville, Indiana, driver of the Metal Ed 1 Stanton Link Chassis, Four Kings Racing number 14JB, right here at the flag stand. And driver all the way from Boulder, Colorado. Driver of the Duo Water, Ortiz Nation at Daredevil Brewery, units of Indy number 35S. That is Christopher Hartman, Chris Hartman in the 35S. Bill getting wound up here. The green-white checkered hot laps, your final run here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps for your USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Out of 2 flights so far, Jacob Denny, quickest, 11.930. Zach Weigel, quickest driver on track in the 97X at a 12.130, but the quickest driver in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, Jacob Denny, 11.930. $150 up for grabs to be your Honest Abe Roofing Quick Qualifier. Honest Abe Roofing, America's reliable roofer, will present the Fast Qualifying Award in all 3 USAC national divisions throughout the 2025 season. Honest Abe has been installing, repairing, and maintaining residential roofs since 2005, and they want to give you the perfect roof to protect your home and keep you comfortable. Honest Abe provides the fastest service in the roofing industry, and they're supporting the fastest driver in qualifications. Visit honestaberoofing.com today to schedule your free roof inspection. 2 laps on the clock, your quickest lap time counting towards your qualifying effort. Again, Christopher Bell, the official 1-lap track record holder here, set in June of 2016, 11.301 was the time set by the Norman, Oklahoma racer. First driver out to the clay, going to come around to the wave of the green flag, and it'll be Steven Schnapp. He's headed to Newburgh, Indiana. Driver of the Martins Auto Care Incorporated, Esslinger Spike, JR1 Racing Oil, Max Performance Parts and Equipment, Napa number 11S. First USAC appearance in midget competition in 2025. He's going to come around on lap number 1, 12.450, 12.450 for Steven Schnapp. He'll set the mark in his opening lap. His last USAC feature start at Tri-State back during Indiana Midget Week in 2021. He had a 20th place finish that night. Comes around lap number 2, better, 12.320, 1.2320 seconds. Steven Schnapp will set the mark here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Next out to the Speedway, 13 victories on the season. Coming into tonight at Avallon, California. Driver of the NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile One Toyota Racing Development, CB Industries, Speedway Toyota Spike number 87. This is Justin Grant. Justin Grant, quick time on lap number 1, a 12.177. 1.2177 seconds for Justin Grant, a 7-time midget starter here at Bloomington. Ran second in 2024 in his last trip here. Comes around lap number 2, better, 11.937. Justin Grant, now your Honest Abe Roofing Quick Qualifier. Next driver onto the Speedways out of Greencastle, Indiana. Driver of the Kurt Records, Coletta Charters, Impact, Stanton SR11X, Shores Chassis, Dueling Autosport, Kerbeck, Janie number 63. This is Cale Coons. Cale Coons in the 63 coming around in his opening lap, second quick at a 12.270. 1.2270 seconds for Cale Coons. Last time on track at the Jefferson County Speedway was actually behind the wheel of the Central Motorsports number 85 as the number 63 had mechanical problems. Comes around second time, better on time, not position, 12.121. Cale Coons second quick in 63. Alex Shipman next onto the Speedway at Bedford, Indiana. Driver of the Revolution Bodyworks, Esslinger Spike Chassis, Terry Cummings Racing Engine, the Ace Corporation, Robert Cummings owned at number 17. Driver looking for his first USAC National Midget feature start here at Bloomington. Comes around lap number 1, fourth quick at a 13.315. 13.315 seconds for Alex Shipman as he works onto the back straightaway. Hustles her down to turns 3 and 4. Gets her on the right rear a little bit, brings it around, back underneath him here to the front straightaway. Checker flag going to drop. Lap number 2, better, 12.915. Still fourth quick for Alex Shipman. Fifth driver onto the Speedway comes to you out of Rising Sun, Maryland. Driver of the RMS Racing and Envirofab, Valco Wheels, Ronda Supply, MPV Logistics, Speedway Toyota Spike number 4. This is Steven Snyder Jr. Steven Snyder Jr. in the 4. At speed, comes around lap number 1. He will stop the clock third quick at a 12.280, 12.280 seconds. Looking for his first USAC National feature start here at Bloomington. Last time on track out of Jefferson County, a fourth place finish in prelim and final night competition. Comes around second quick on lap number 2, a 12.105, 1.2105 seconds. Steven Snyder Jr. up to second quick. Kevin Thomas Jr. next out to the racetrack at Coleman, Alabama. Driver of the AcroSeal, Metalloid 1, MW Manufacturing, and Frontal Armor Advanced Racing Suspension. Driven Performance, 4 Kings Racing, number 14. The 2025 Indiana Sprint Week champion comes around second quick in lap number 1, a 12.080, 1:20.80 seconds for Kevin Thomas Jr. Six-time USAC National Midget starter here at Bloomington, ran 13th in his last visit in 2024. Lap number 2, better, quick time, 11.852, 1:18.52 seconds. Kevin Thomas Jr. to the top of the boards here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Out of Gilbert, Arizona, the AME Electrical Indy Race Parts Stanton Spike Chassis number 19 AZ. This is Hayden Reinbold. Hayden Reinbold, number 19, comes around on his opening lap. He'll be 6 quick at a 12.423, 1:24.23 seconds for Hayden Reinbold. Makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Second time by for Hayden. Better, 5th quick at a 12.121, 1:21.21 seconds for Hayden Reinbold. Next on the list out of Evansville, Indiana, driver of the United Mechanical Felker Esslinger Spike Chassis, Lone Wolf Petroleum Independence Contracting number 8X. This is Jeff Schindler. Jeff Schindler in the 8X, looking for his first USAC National feature start here at Bloomington. Going to come around on lap number 1. He will be 7th quick at a 12.748, 1:27.48 seconds for Jeff Schindler on his opening lap. Brings her down through turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he improves lap number 2. And he does on time, not position, 12.712, still 7th quick for Jeff Schindler in the 8X. Regular competitor with the Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association out of Boulder, Colorado. Driver the Duo Water Ortiz Nation, Claxton Ford Spike Chassis, Daredevil Brewery, Units of Indy, Josh Hodge, number 35S. This is Chris Hartman. Chris Hartman in the 35. A little blubbery there onto the back straightaway beneath the hood with a 13.211 on his opening lap. He'll bring around here on lap number 2. We'll see if he does pick up a little bit of speed, and he does. 12.95, a 12.950 for Chris Hartman on his second attempt. Puts him 9th out of 9. Next driver onto the Speedway. He comes to us all the way from Peoria, Arizona. Driver the Avante Windows and Doors, PristineAuction.com, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis, Petty Performance Racing, CB Industries, Mobile 1, number 83. This is Drake Edwards. Drake Edwards in the number 83. Comes around on his opening lap, 6 quick at a 12.151, 12.151 for Drake Edwards. Looking back at Mid-America Midget Week in 11th, a win, a 12th, and a 10th place finish for the driver of the number 83. Comes around lap number 2 and slower, 12.100, 3rd quick, second time by for Drake Edwards. Thomas Meserol next on to the Speedway out of San Jose, California. Driver the England Machine and Tool Team STV, EA Stealth Spike Chassis, Sherbolt Suspension, High Performance Lubricants, Tim Engler owned at number 7S. Comes around with a 12.287 on his opening lap. 7th quick for the driver in 7. His last USAC National feature start during the BC 39, a 3rd and a 24th place finish for the driver. The number 7 comes around. Lap number 2 will be a 12.445. He'll stand on his opening lap at 12.287. That was Thomas Meserol, currently 7th quick. Mac Leopard clawing his way out to the Speedway now at Beaver Creek, Ohio. Driver the PristineAuction.com, Toyota Racing Development, Mobile 1, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis, CB Industries, number 86. Another driver in search of his first USAC National feature start here at Bloomington. Comes around 9th quick on his opening lap at a 12.598, 1:25.98 seconds for Mac Leopard. 12th place finish in his last start in USAC National Midget Competition. That was up at Jefferson County. Comes around lap number 2, better, a 12.485, 1:24.85 seconds. 9th quick for Mac Leopard. One of the drivers pulling double duty here tonight, Braxton Cummings out of Bedford, Indiana. Driver of the Revolution Bodyworks, Esslinger Spike Chassis, Terry Cummings Racing into the Ace Corporation, number 71B. Comes around lap number 1, 9th quick at a 12.421, 1:24.21 seconds for Braxton Cummings on his opening lap. Looking for his first USAC National Midget start here. In fact, looking for his first USAC National 8 feature start overall. 8th quick, second time by at a 12.308, 1:23.08 seconds for Braxton Cummings. Next on to the Speedway at Galloway, Ohio, the JBL Audio TRD Mobile 1 Toyota KKM Carmack Janie and Speedway Toyota Link Chassis number 67. This is Jacob Denny. Jacob Denny in the 67 at speed. Going to come around on his opening lap. 3rd quick at a 12.046. 1:20.46 seconds for Jacob Denny on lap number 1. A 3-time starter here at Bloomington with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Best finish here, 3rd 1 year ago. Comes around lap number 2. A little bit slower, 12.126, a 12.046 is what he'll stand on his opening lap. 3rd quick for Denny in 67. The 21D out to the Speedway. That is Justin Dickerson out of Pittsburgh, Indiana. The IPC Pro Door Manufacturing MPD Toyota Link Chassis number 21D. 15th driver out to the Speedway to qualify. Lap number 1 will be a 12.861, 12861 seconds for Justin Dickerson on his opening lap. His last USAC National Midget A feature start back at Gas City in 2023, where he ran 20th, 13th quick on lap number 1. Lap number 2 going to be just a tick slower, a 12.867, a 12.861 on his first go-around will put him 13th. Down to the back straightway in Mooresville, North Carolina, the Joyous Seating, Walker Filtration, Rye Helmets, Bunnyville Motorsports, Bunnyville Honda Spike Chassis number 19M. This is Ethan Mitchell. Ethan Mitchell, 10th quick on his opening lap at a 12.311. 12.311 for Ethan Mitchell on his opening attempt. Picked up a win in micro competition at Millbridge back on August 20th. A 5-time starter here at Bloomington with the USAC National Midgets. Comes around lap number 2, slower, 12.320, a 12.311. Lap number 1, 10th quick for Ethan Mitchell. Driver out of Columbus, Indiana, driver of the Midwest 2 Mills, Stanton SR11, Link Chassis, Bar Properties, Secure Starts Now, Setzer Fabricating, Kevin Arnold, on number 43. This is Gunnar Setzer. 17th driver onto the Speedway, comes around lap number 1, 12th quick at a 12.443. Problems for Setzer. The car losing power over in turns 1 and 2. And not sure if something did not come off of the number 43. A couple of officials saying it looked like something may have come off of the car over at the exit of turns 3 and 4. So he might be in the running for your Sober Joe's recovery of the night. Sober Joe Coffee putting up an extra $100 for the driver, making the best recovery of the evening. Who the driver put kind of behind the 8-ball early on in the night. If they're able to recover and run their way through the field with an impressive run, they might pick up an extra $100 courtesy of Sober Joe's. Great local coffee, a great local cause. 100% of the profits go to support Courage to change sober living homes in Bloomington, making recovery from drug and alcohol addiction possible. Find out more at SoberJoe.com. And, of course, he is also dealing out some coffee here up on the hill, so make sure and swing by and thank him for his support of the drivers here this evening. Track is cleared and back underway. Brecken Reese at Canyon, Texas on track right now. The Sierra Towing and Crushing, Sonny's Grocery, Speedway Total Link Chassis, Jeff Friesone, Chandler Grand Prix number 20Q. He'll come around on his opening lap, and he will stop the clock 8th quick at a 12.144. 12144 seconds for Brecken Reese. 6 wins on the season between micro and race saver competition. He'll come around lap number 2. Better second quick, 11.909. 11.909 seconds for Brecken Reese, second time by. Misses out on the top spot by 0.057 seconds. Kevin Thomas Jr. continues to be the fastest. 11.852 was his time. Next on to the Speedway, we've got Cale Drake. He comes here to Collinsville, Oklahoma, driving the Ombach Toyota KKM Give Back Classic Speedway Total Link Chassis number 97K. 9th quick on his opening lap at 12.255. 12255 seconds for Cale Drake on lap number 1. A 2-time winner on the season in USAC National Midget Competition. Sweet Springs and Circle City comes around lap number 2. And slower, 12.352, a 12.255 on his opening lap, puts him 9th quick. Driver onto the Speedway now is your current USAC National Points leader out of Bixby, Oklahoma. Driver the Mobile 1 TRD Kurt Breckers Toyota Link Chassis Speedway Toyota number 71K. This is Cannon McIntosh. Cannon McIntosh on track in the 71K. Comes around 9th quick on his opening lap at a 12.176. 12176 seconds. 9 wins on the season, 4 in USAC competition, 3 with Extreme Outlaw Midgets and 2 in Power I. Comes around lap number 2, better 5th quick at a 12.099. 12099 seconds. Cannon McIntosh into the top 5. Jacob Boxell next on to the Speedway. The driver coming to us out of Zanesville, Indiana. Driver of the Metalloid 1, Acro Seal, Inferno Armor, Stanton SR11X, Link Chassis, 4 Kings Racing, number 11JB, or 14JB rather. 11.854, second quick. So 4 Kings Racing now 1 and 2 here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. 11.854 on his opening lap. Does he improve? Lap number 2, Boxell comes around. He does not. 11.986, 11.854. The lap he'll stand on. Again, that was Boxell in 14. Gavin Miller next onto the Speedway out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Driver of the Sound Gear TRD Mobile 1 Kurt Breckers Toyota KKM Kirby number 97. Comes around lap number 1, 6 quick at a 12.061. Prelim night winner up at Jefferson County during Mid-America Midget Week. 2 overall wins on the season. His other one with the Extreme Outlaw Series at Port City earlier this year. Comes around lap number 2, slower, a 12.075, a 12.061 on his opening lap. Puts Gavin Miller 6th quick. Colton Robinson next onto the Speedway, driver to Titusville, Florida. Driver the KKM Curb Agajanian Precise Tool Solutions. Speedway Total Link Chassis, TRT, Mobile 1, Curb Records, Walker Filtration, number 67K. Lap number 1, 13th quick at a 12:271, 1:22.71 seconds. Last USAC National Feature start at the BC 39, a 15th and a 17th place run in A feature competition for the Titusville, Florida driver. Comes around second time, 10th quick, a 12:111, 12:111 for Colton Robinson into the top 10 for that KKM Curb Agajanian number 67K. Down to the final couple drivers to qualify. Next on track is out of New Berlin, Illinois. Driver the Performance Driveline Toyota Link Chassis number 56X. This is Mark Chisholm. Mark Chisholm, 20th quick on his opening lap at a 12:508, 1:25.08 seconds. Comes around lap number 2. Chisholm will stop the clock at a 12:532. He'll stand on lap number 1, a 12:508. And the final driver out to qualify. Out of Belpre, Ohio, driver the Odell Trucking S2 Cybersecurity, Speedway Total Link Chassis, Odell Racing number 97X. This is Zach Weigel. Zach Weigel in the number 97 comes around lap number 1, 13th quick at a 12:229. 1:2.229 seconds for the Odell Racing number 97X onto the back straightaway. One career start here back in 2024. He ran 19th in A feature competition. Comes around second time, a 12:205 better for Zach Weigel. 12:205 second time around for the 97X. As that'll wrap up Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Fifth quick tonight was Jacob Denny. Fourth quick was Justin Grant. Third quick was Brecken Reese. Second was Jacob Boxell. And your Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier comes to you out of Coleman, Alabama. Driver the Acrosail, Metalloid 1, MW Manufacturing, Inferno Armor, Advanced Racing Suspension number 14. Race fans, give him a hand, Kevin Thomas Jr. Lap time 11:852 for the driver of the Four Kings Racing number 14. And how about it for Four Kings Racing? First and second in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying here tonight. Jacob Boxell only 0.02 of a second off of the pace set by KTJ. Super Stocks next on the program for their hot lap sessions, as everything getting a quick look over before we bring those cars out to the Speedway. Back over to Dr. Sullivan.
The United Midwest Promoters, UMP, contest a national sportsman championship race. And we have the top 3 nationally with us tonight at Bloomington Speedway. And now Derek Groomer is a guy who stopped Lee Hobbs Webb Street, and the salute to Denny Campbell. He's out in the 179. Derek outstanding in Super Stocks as well as in Modifieds. Zach Sasser is one of those drivers in the hunt for the national championship. He's from Bedford at car number 79. His brother from Bedford, car number 11, also in the championship hunt. Austin Perry from North Vernon, Indiana, is out in the 14. Matt Hamilton, a longtime competitor from Bloomington in the 71H. Hayden Groomer from Bloomington in the 48H. Three laps available to the Super Stocks. And Zach Sasser, the 79. He's a former Bloomington Speedway track champion. 13.606. Derek Groomer, 13.654. Isaiah Sasser, 13.973. Hayden Groomer, 14.146. Austin Perry, 14.323. And Matt Hamilton, 14.984. The great Kenny Carmichael Sr. from Terre Haute in car number 92 will be out. Grant Simpson, who's well up in Superstock points here at Bloomington this year. I believe he's third in the 96. Tucker Chastain from Mitchell. He's a former UMP national champion and track champion in car number 75. Reese Novak, a good one from Gosport, Indiana, the 88R. Lee Hobbs, one of the best in the business in the HO. He's your current point leader here. And Tom Plotz from Indianapolis in the 16P. Derek Gruber, one of his championships came back in 2015. He's a former modified champion here. Lee Hobbs, the Bloomington Superstock champion in 1999 and 2000. Tied for the modified championship in 2002. He's won over 700 feature events in his storied career. And as we mentioned, comes in as the point leader. Lee took a little rap on the arm in a heat race at Lincoln Park that knocked him off kilter for a time, but he rebounded to pick up the victory. That's him in the Zero machine. Lee Hobbs turned to 13.822. Second, Kenny Carmichael Sr., 14.008.
Third, Grant Simpson at 14.238. And fourth, Reese Novak, 14.255. Coming in fifth, Tom Plotz at 14.399. And Tucker Chastain at 15.055.
Tom had a little bit of trouble getting his car to run last time we were here after such a banner year in 2024. We mentioned Kenny Carmichael Sr. He was a modified champion here back in 2013. 2 times the modified champ at Lincoln Park. Then in terms of super stocks, I'll try to do this really quickly. I think he's got 8. And not only that, in 2005 and 2006, he was the Lincoln Park Sprint Car champion. When Lincoln Park introduced a sportsman class years ago, he was the first winner ever in this. Group number 2 is coming out. So Cale Kern, who comes in second in points from Bedford in car number 77.
In the 14J, we have Jordan Almanza.
Jordan, a many-time Bomber champion at Lincoln Park, 2-time Harf co-driver of the year. Alex Shipman from Bedford in the 22.
In the 71 from Springfield, Indiana, we have Sam Arthur.
Travis Todd, the family's been here a long time, Hiltonville, Indiana, the Steve 15.
And in the number 1 machine from Seymour, Indiana, we have Matt Bachneck.
Yeah, Matt Bachneck has been around a long time with a great deal of success, as we've mentioned several times. 1995 street stock champion here, twice a modified champion for Matt. And Rusty Nunn shakes the white flag. Excuse me, the checkered flag. We'll get it right eventually. A lot going on. Veteran Cale Kern has piloted a red 77 for a very, very long time. His father had a speed shop. And whoop, trouble. Into the Willard Colfax Memorial infield. Cale Kern's father, longtime friend of Carl Kinzer's. They've done a lot together in street rods. That's Jordan Almanza. Jordan, last I checked, was 5th or 6th in UMP national points. I'm trying to remember whether Cale Kern's dad bought a street stock from Carl or vice versa. I think Cale's mother bought it from Carl. They're still very good friends. All righty. That'll do qualifying. Who's at the top, Nikki?
We have Cale Kern at 13.851, followed by Sam Arthur, 14.021. And the number 3, we have Matt Bachneck, 14.115. 4, Alex Shipman coming in at 14.167, followed by Jordan Almanza at 14.186. And rounding us out is Travis Todd at 14.417.
Yeah, good field of Superstocks on hands tonight. Texacon Cutstone Superstocks. The very first ever stock car race at this racetrack was held 76 years ago this Monday. So an interesting history of Superstock racing here.
It's very laboring.
Diz Wilson was very instrumental in instrumenting that.
So I have opening ceremonies coming up here in just a moment. Before we get to that, we're going to get a word with our Honest Abe Roofing qualifying quick time driver of the night for the 10th time in his career. The first time this season, driver to Coleman, Alabama. He's making his way up to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand, Kevin Thomas Jr.
Kevin Thomas Jr. indeed picking up his 10th career Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifying Award with the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series tonight at Bloomington Speedway. Both yourself and your teammate Jacob Boxell at the top of the boards, 2 1,000s off of each other and quite a bit faster than the rest of the field. What's going on back there at the Four Kings camp?
I don't know, but they got it figured out. Rex and Fred, they really put the effort into creating a great team over there. Matt's dad, they really work their butts off. JB does too as well. So. For us to go 1-2 there, and it's even Rex's birthday too. So, going 1-2 there is big for us. We've been trying some things, and I feel like we ain't raced a midget in 2 months. So, we didn't really get the opportunity, but we're glad that it worked.
Yeah, you just mentioned that. It has been quite a while since we've been back with the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series. We've been to Bloomington Speedway multiple times with the sprint cars this year so far. What's it like navigating this place in a midget this year?
It's interesting. You can do a few lane choices, but it's after racing sprint cars for so long, it feels a little slow motion, so I wasn't real sure if we were even good. So but they got very comfortable cars, and it just shows right there that you can go out at the very front and at the very end and be fast. So hats off to those guys and everybody that works there during the week and all season, and we'll try to go get one tonight.
Laid down a pretty good lap there for Kevin Thomas Jr. He is your Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifier here tonight at Bloomington Speedway.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bloomington Speedway. Welcome to the red clay. If you would please rise if you're able and remove your hats, if you could, please. We are gathered today on a glorious day, we would agree. Thank you very much for this wonderful weather we have to enjoy. These talented individuals who have assembled here at this red clay at a place that we have gathered since 1923. The desire has always been strong. The desire to be the best, the will to do their very best is what guides them and what propels us to be here to witness individuals of this caliber. We are so fortunate to live in this great country, this great land that means so much to us, and to be together with people who matter to us. We think of Polly Stryker. Polly Stryker, her and her husband Jim were championship midget owners. We lost Polly. Her son Mike was a USAC midget champion. We think of John Myers, a Rookie of the Year with the National Midgets, who was injured in a fire. Ask, if we can, please, for healing for both, for Polly's family and for Myers to get back on his feet and to get things moving in the right direction. But most of all, we just thank you for giving us this opportunity here today to be here to witness this. And it is also a blessing, and many of us know this, to have this gentleman to my left here to sing the national anthem, because he is one of the very best in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, to sing the national anthem, Mr. Rusty Shields.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Is he not terrific? Let him hear it, Rusty Shields. Are we ready? Let's go racing on the red clay.
Sprint car is going to be first on the program for their first of 3 heat races here in just a little bit. We'll follow that up with a trio of heat races for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Superstock heat races to follow that. Then it'll be the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Cart Semi-Feature event. Sprint car beat feature if needed. A quick intermission, a little bit of track work if that is needed. Then we'll start off our feature events with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, Sprint cars, and Superstocks. We'll round out the evening. As Dr. Sullivan makes his way back into the press box here, he will have the call for the Sprint cars in just a moment.
Our lineup for the Ford Performance High Performance Racing School 410s. This is a ticket to Tulsa tonight. Looks this way. On the pole position from Columbus, Ohio, in the 16, that is Trey Osborne. Alongside for Bedford, the 75, that is Jordan Kinzer.
And in row 2, we have Harley Burns in the 16B out of Brazil, Indiana. Inside him is Steven Schnapp from Newburgh, Indiana, in the 39S.
Clyde, Victoria, Australia is the home of the 77. That's Todd Hobson. He'll be joined by Phoenix, Arizona's Cameron LaRose in the 13P.
And taking us to row 4 is Cody Trammell of Bloomington, Indiana, in the 34T. And on the outside, we have Kyle Willis of North Vernon, Indiana, in the 5W machine.
Kale Willis, by the way, brought to us by Ellis Gas and Oil Razzle's Shine Shop. Trey Osborne, Industrial Hydraulics. Jeff Mill Trailer Sales. By Jeff Hill. Cameron LaRose, Avanti Windows and Doors, Petty Performance Racing. Premier Recycling. Harley Burns in the Brent Arrow, Youngblood Farms, Timberlawn Lumber Company entry. Cody Trammell, Ace Corporation, Bailey's Auto and Ag Repair, Team and Tire, and Brandon Excavating. Stephen Schnaff, American Racing, he's from Evansville, Indiana. Hoosier Speed entry. HFI Mechanical, Penny Lane Child Care, and Lucky 7 Technologies sponsored Jordan Kinzer. MBL Transport, Innovative Slots, Easy Paint, local print shop, and Willwood Racing are the sponsors for Todd Hobson. 8 laps will be the distance. All will transfer to the feature event. All righty, side by side. Rusty Dunn takes a look. Looks like the furled flag is in the air. Pretty sight here on the red clay. We've been doing it here since 1923. Getting down to cases of the 2025 season. Rusty's got him in the crosshairs, and we're racing. Tall Trey backs it in. Jordan Kinzer alongside Harley Burns, working the bottom. Burns and Kinzer, former track champions. Harley working the outside, trying to run the rim in turn number 2. There goes Harley working to the outside. What a battle up front. Harley Burns and Trey Osborne. Jordan Kinzer running 3rd. Todd Hobson running in the 4th position. Stephen Schnaff right now running in the 5th spot. Well, Trey Osborne had a lot of pressure early on, but he's fought it off for the moment. Checker flag is out. Trey Osborne, Harley Burns, Jordan Kinzer, Todd Hobson, Stephen Schnapp, Cameron LaRose. Heat race number 2 looks this way.
Starting us off is Jaden Rogers of Worthington, Indiana in the 14. 2 is outside is Braxton Cummings of Bedford, Indiana in the 71B.
Big Matt Goodnight from Winchester, Indiana, the 39. He'll be joined by the bull Ty Mahako from Peoria, Arizona in the 24P.
And on the inside of row 3, we have Austin Corey of Morristown, Indiana in the 00. And Ben Votschild takes us on the outside from Bedford, Indiana.
And Nate Bell from Paragon, Indiana in the 7. Round out your field. The second of 3 heat races for the Ford High Performance Racing School 410s. So second of 3, midgets. You should be ready to go. So Jaden Rogers actually comes in the second position in points here at Bloomington Speedway. Been an interesting year. He's moved around in a couple of different rides, but he's always up front, particularly locally. He's had great success both here and at Lincoln Park Speedway. 3 times he's been in victory lane in the 2025 season. Braxton Cummins doing double duty. Matt Goodnight, we've seen him run all sorts of different sprint cars and open wheel cars. He's been a top 10 competitor with the USAC Silver Crown Series. Ty Mahako won 13 times in 2024. The bull joined with the Paul family. That's been a long-standing relationship between those two and a successful one. Austin Corey, a second-generation driver. You see his uncle on the USAC Silver Crown Trail. So some racing bloodlines run deep as always. Rusty Shields, by the way, will be singing at the World 100. As always, congratulations to him, one of our regulars here at the racetrack. It's still a beautiful sight here with the backdrop. Those of you who have never been here, there's a pretty active creek right on the back, off the back straightaway by that tree line. We mentioned a couple of springs here in this facility. This is a natural bowl. The racetrack was much longer when we mentioned Wayne Padgett and Diz Wilson came and reconfigured it. They reconfigured it in a way that reduced it from the 5/8 mile that had been here originally. Then they built a midget track originally to run on Wednesday nights. First win for the midgets came in 1952 with Lou Perry, an Indianapolis driver, picked up the victory. And the first sanctioned race came later in the 1952 season. That Perry victory was in April. Later in the year, I believe it was the 25th of April, the Indianapolis Midget Association came here and had some great success. Here we go. A little trouble there right off the bat. We'll see if that stays in play. Shane Rogers gets out the early advantage in the 14 machine. Jane with a nice, comfortable advantage over Braxton Cummins for now. And we are yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh, right there in front of us, that's Nate Bell, Paragon driver in the 7. Again, all will transfer. Mahaka right now running in the 3rd position. He picked up the 50-lap event that we contested here, the Legends 50. We tried to dip back into history at this racetrack. Many 100-lap races, particularly under the South Central Indiana Racing Association banner. You mentioned Carl Kids are very much a part of that group, which sort of stabilized racing here at Bloomington, but 150-lap races were not uncommon as well. 4th of July race in the 60s for 150 laps was won by Dick Gaines. Three down. 3 laps have been completed, 8 to go. 5 to go. Braxton Cummins trying to track down Jaden Rogers with Ty Mahako. A bird's eye view of the action. Austin Corey, the 00, running in the 4th position. Battle right now really is for 2nd. Jaden Rogers in pretty good shape as Mahako tries to run down Braxton Cummins. All using the lower part of the racetrack at the moment. A little bit higher line in turn number 4. 3 and 4, particularly used by Jaden. Jaden comfortably out front as the white flag falls. Easy peasy for Jaden Rogers, the Worthington, Indiana driver. He'll take the checkered flag. Braxton Cummins and Ty Mahako. Braxton and the Terry Cummins Race Engines entry. High Aspirations Farm, Rumpke Fast Science for Ty Mahako. Austin Corey, Celebration Childcare, Brown's Oil. And the Kentucky Rodeo sponsors. Ben's Vote Child. So it's Jaden Rogers, the best in heat race number 2. Crescent Donut sponsor Nate Bell. Heat race number 3. Nikki, what do we got?
Row 1, we have Hunter Maddox of Bloomington, Indiana in the 24M machine. Alongside him is Matt Thompson, also from Bloomington in the 26. In row 2, we have Zach Pretorius from Yorktown, Indiana in the 9Z. Alongside him, Chance Crum in the 83C machine. Starting us in row 3, we have Brandon Spencer from Nashville, Indiana in the 22. On the outside, Sam Hines of Westfield, Indiana in the 71H. And rounding us out in row 4 is Josh Lane of Martinsville, Indiana in the 67L.
Hunter Maddox brought to us by TJD Roofing, Megacore Logistics. Matt Thompson in the Stat Tool, Clark Excavating Car. Matt's having a good year. Zach Pretorius in the Oak Motors Pizza King Hoosier Reynolds car. Chance Crum, Sonoma, Washington. Pit Logic, Elevate Racing Media, and the Race Rudine Foundation. Brandon Spencer, DRC Myers Engines, the Brandon Spencer Racing entry. Sam Hines, Edge Rock Development, LTH Financial Services, and Hoosier Speed with Josh Lane, sponsored by Mod Motorsports and Kawasaki. 1 to green, 8-lap feature. Midgets, you are next. This is the last of the 3 sprint car heat races. Thank you very much for coming here. Who will get into the B97 105.1 Victory Lane? That's the question we'll ask tonight, with 3 different winners making their way to the slab right behind the grandstand. Pick up the Miriam's flowers wreath. Side by side down the back straightaway. Want to thank Comprehensive Financial Consultants, variety of associates, friends, and business partners joining us tonight. And here we go. Zach Pretoria is taking a peek down on the bottom of the 9 machine. Hunter Maddox fins off that charge for now. Wild behind. Chance Crum, the Sonoma Washington driver, trying to make some noise, but it's Zach Pretorius who gets it done. Chance drives hard into turn number 4. Good battle there for the 3rd position. Matt Thompson, we mentioned, having a good year, the 26 machine. Hunter Maddox trying to get back around Zach Pretorius. Not this time. Zach's got the Yoke Motors car humming. Brandon Spencer in the yellow and black, number 22, showing no fear up on the high side. We'll see if he can make it work as Sam Hines works the bottom. Just a little bit more than a second advantage for Zach Pretorius last time by as he leads Hunter Maddox. Matt Thompson churning the clay on the high side, currently running 4th. Chance Crum putting some pressure on Maddox, going down the back straightaway. Right now, Zach Pretorius had things all his way. There goes Chance Crum. Oh, trying to get him on the hip. Drag race down the back straightaway. And the Washingtonian takes the lead. Takes the 2nd position as the white flag comes out. Still a good battle for 2nd. Zach Pretorius, a little washout in turn number 4, but he's got a cushion, and he should bring it home. The battle is for 2nd. There's a checkered flag for Zach. Looks like Chance Crum, Hunter Maddox, Brandon Spencer round out your top 4. Van Thompson, Sam Hines, and Josh Lane round out the field. So that's it for the sprint cars. We'll see them in the feature event a little bit later tonight. Now we turn things over to Brian and the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series.
Thank you very much. The first of 3 heat races for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship set to make its way out to the Speedway. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Car IQ. Car IQ has created a payment solution aimed at fleets that allows cars and trucks and to gas pumps to pay for fuel without the need of a fuel card or credit card. Car IQ Payment Solutions, Car IQ Pay, replaces fleet card products and protects against fraud while significantly reducing back office vehicle reconciliation. Learn more at gocariq.com today. 10 laps. Top 6 going to race on directly into the feature event. Drivers slated for the pole positions at Bedford, Indiana. Driver of the Revolution Bodyworks, Esslinger Spike number 71B will be Braxton Cummings. Lining up next to him in 97, Zach Weigel at Belpre, Ohio. The Odell Trucking S2 Cybersecurity Speedway Total Link chassis number 97X. Second row from the inside, you'll find Colton Robinson at a Titusville, Florida. The Precise Tooling Solutions Speedway Total Link chassis, KKM Kerbagajania number 67K. And outside of him for 4th, it's going to be Cannon McIntosh, the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records Toyota number 71K at a Bixby, Oklahoma. 5th starter, Justin Grant out of Ione, California. Driven the NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile 1 Speedway Toyota Spike number 87. And outside of him, your Honest Abe Roofing Quick Qualifier at a Coleman, Alabama. The Acrosil Metalloid 1 Inferno Armor Advanced Racing Suspension number 14 of Kevin Thomas Jr. 4th row from the inside at a Columbus, Indiana. Driver of the Midwest 2 Mills Bar Property, Stanton Link chassis number 43. It's going to be Gunnar Setzer. And from the 8th starting spot, that is slated to be Justin Dickerson at a Pittsboro, Indiana. Driver of the Indy Performance Composites, MPD Toyota Link chassis number 21D. Final starter comes to you out of New Berlin, Illinois. The Performance Driveline Toyota Link chassis number 56X. That is Mark Chisholm. As that'll be our scheduled lineup again for Car IQ Heat Race number 1 of 3 with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Quick note, Mark Chisholm Unfortunately, his time disallowed from Honest Abe Roofing qualifying as he bypassed the scales. Cars making their way out to the Speedway. Toyota Racing Development pace truck on the backside of the racetrack as the final few drivers push out of the Indy Medal finishing work area. Sprint car invert tonight, being told by Dr. Sullivan, is a 6. Again, the sprint car invert is a 6. For those of you following along in the pits and at home on the FloRacing broadcast. So again, Braxton Cummings, Zach Weigel, run number 1. Colton Robinson, Kanan McIntosh, run number 2. Justin Grand, Kevin Thomas Jr., run number 3. Gunnar Setzer, Justin Dickerson, run number 4. Mark Chisholm, all by himself, in run number 5. First time this season, Kevin Thomas Jr. has been your Honest Abe Roofing Quick Qualifier. 10th time in his career. And of course, with the invert, that does put him starting outside of row number 3. The good news, though, he doesn't have far to go to get into a transferring position.
Yeah, if my research is correct, it looks like that's actually his first Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifying Award with the Midget Series since 2023. Now, given he's been on a part-time schedule up until 2025 with the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series, so not totally far-fetched to believe that. But yeah, going to start 6th. We take top 6 out of these, though, as you mentioned.
Last time on track, a pair of 7th place finish. In fact, a trio of 7th place finishes. Beloit for the Chad McDaniel Memorial, and then at Jefferson County. All 7th place runs. Started off Mid-America Midweek with a 6th place finish. So we'll see what he can do for the outside of run number 3. Round of the NOS Energy start can. We're underway. They'll get a dash off into turns 1 and 2. We'll see how things shake out here. They'll leave the bottom side open. They go 3 wide, and it will be the Titusville, Florida driver trying to jump up and grab the race lead. Can he hold on to it? He cannot. It will be Weigel in the Odell number 97 on lap number 1.
Braxton Cummings had gotten out to a pretty good start to begin with, then floated up to the top side of the racetrack in turn number 2, and a bunch of guys got around him on the inside. So now he rides in that 5th position. He's looking to have 6 taken away from him by Kanan McIntosh this time by.
Battle for 3rd to the back straightaway now. Going to even out here. Justin Gray going to take that spot over the NOS Energy CB Industries number 87. Kanan McIntosh going to take over the 4th spot. In 5th right now is going to be Kevin Thomas Jr. Final transfer spot currently in the hands of Gunnar Setzer, the Midwest Tube Mills number 43. Started inside of that 4th row, just need to pick up 1 spot so far. He's done that. Challenge on the racetrack for 2nd. Here comes Grant to the inside, up across the speedway. Couldn't get there fast enough. Falls back on the tire tracks of the 67 of Colton Robinson. Rides in 3rd. Kanan McIntosh trying to reel him in. Here comes Grant one more time with the charge to the back straightaway.
Colton Robinson continuing to hammer around the top side of the racetrack, holding off the 87 of Justin Grant. That time by, he goes to the bottom side of the racetrack to protect that slide job. Justin Grant kind of following in his tire tracks right now.
Caution lights come on. The 21D, Justin Dickerson into Pittsboro, Indiana. His first appearance of the 2025 season, and finds himself orbiting the racetrack over the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. Remember, in USAC competition, there is a 360 rule, and essentially, once you're about 180 degrees to the field, the caution will be called for. You'll be going to the tail end of the lineup. So 5 in, 5 to go. Zach Weigel has been in command here in the number 97X. The last time we saw him on track was with the Cornell Racing Stables number 8 at the BC 39. Had a 4th and an 18th place run for the Cornell team.
Yeah, he had a pretty great weekend, really, at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and a pretty good showing after not having seen him with the series in quite some time.
So Colton Robinson going to line up in 2nd. Again, we do have some giveaways courtesy of Colton Robinson up here in the press box, and Dr. Sullivan conjuring away to go ahead and get those tossed out here after a little bit. Justin Grant riding in 3rd, Kanan McIntosh in 4th. Kevin Thomas Jr. your top 5 as we go back to green. And McIntosh just past the NOS Energy start cam with a good restart on Justin Grant. He'll take over the 3rd spot here as they roll to the back straightaway. Challenge for the lead, maybe. Cannon working the bottom, trying to get to 2nd, but so far, looked like Colton was maybe going to have a run. but not quite, as everybody diving to the bottom side of turns 1 and 2.
Cannon McIntosh, really the only driver that has been using the bottom side of the racetrack in turns number 3 and 4 in the top 5. Now Kevin Thomas Jr. going to give it a one look on that time. That allows Gunnar Setzer actually to catch up to 14 KTJ.
Both drivers work to the bottom side through turns 1 and 2. It'll be 2 to go this time, and they make their way up at turn number 4. It is still Zach Weigel in command. A little bit over the cushion when Cannon McIntosh got that right rear dangerously close to the lip of the racetrack, was able to get it back on the speedway. That cost him, though. Remember, he got by Justin Grant to the restart. Grant able to snake his way back by as they come around this time to the wave of the white flag. 1 to go. KTJ not done yet in the 14.
Everybody rolling around the inside of turns number 1 and 2 as your leader, Zach Weigel, goes down the backstretch. Coming out of turns number 3 and 4, he will pick up Car AQ Heat Race number 1.
Weigel picking up the win. Second going to go to Colton Robinson, Justin Grant in third, Cannon McIntosh in fourth, Kevin Thomas Jr. Your top 5. Gunnar Setzer with the final transfer spot into your Elliott's Custom Trailers Card into your feature event. Elliott's Custom Trailers Card semi-feature event bound. Braxton Cummings, Mark Chisholm, and Justin Dickerson. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he is out of Belpre, Ohio, driver of the Odell Racing, Odell Trucking, S2 Cybersecurity, Speedway Total Link chassis number 97X. Give him a hand, Zach Weigel. Colton Robinson in second. Justin Grant gets back to third. Cannon McIntosh in fourth. KTJ in fifth. Gunnar Setzer, Braxton Cummings, Mark Chisholm, and Justin Dickerson unofficially rounding out your field.
So we're going to have a word with your heat race winners in just a little bit. Going to get these heats ran through and then bring them up to this victory lane side of the racetrack.
So K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 just about ready to make its way out to the racing surface. Born in 2003 with the philosophy of offering products to customers that they would be proud to use, at K1 Race Gear, they are racers and they understand the value of buying quality products at a reasonable price. Whether your son or daughter is just starting out in the sport or you have a lifelong passion for racing, they have the products for you. Contact K1 Race Gear today at k1racegear.com. 10 times around, 6 more drivers moving on to the feature event. Ethan Mitchell at Mooresville, North Carolina. The Joyo Seating, Walker Filtration, Bunnyville Honda, number 19M, slated for the pole position. Next to him is going to be Cale Drake at Collinsville, Oklahoma. The Eibach Toyota KKM and Give Back Classic. Curb Records, number 97K. Second row from the inside at Greencastle, Indiana. The Curb Records, Coletta Charters, Impact, Stanton SR11, Shores Chassis, number 63 of Cale Coons. And outside of him is set to be Drake Edwards at Peoria, Arizona. The Avante Windows and Doors, PristineAuction.com, Petty Performance, CB Industries, number 83. Jacob Denny at Galloway, Ohio. The JBL Audio TRD Mobile 1 Toyota number 67 will roll from 5th from 6th. He was second fastest in Honest State Roofing qualifying. Out of Zanesville, Indiana, the Metalloid 1 Acura Seal, driven performance, 4 Kings Racing number 14 JB. That is Jacob Boxell. Final row from the inside, Mac Leopard at Beaver Creek, Ohio. The CB Industries, PristineAuction.com, Speedway Toyota Spike number 86. And your final starter set to be Alex Shipman. He's out of Bedford, Indiana. The Revolution Bodyworks Esslinger Spike Chassis, Robert Cummings owned at number 17. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. And officials tending to a issue there at the bottom side of the exit of turn number 2. We'll continue to roll the field here under caution. Again, Ethan Mitchell, the 19M. 5-time feature starter here at Bloomington. He ran 8th 1 year ago during Indiana Midweek competition. His best run here in 2019, he finished 5th. He was also your On-to-Save Roofing Quick qualifier that night.
Many of his fast qualifying awards with the USAC National Midget Series have come on red clay or red dirt. So here at Bloomington Speedway, he's got one over at Red Dirt Raceway in Oklahoma. And I have to imagine it comes from that racing in North Carolina where you do see that red dirt and that red clay.
Recently on track here. In fact, this past weekend, this past week at a micro win up at Millbridge. First win of the season. Last time we saw him in prelim competition up at Jefferson County, unfortunately, found an infield tire and got upside down. That kind of ended his weekend. $97K of Cale Drake lining up alongside him. The driver to Collinsville, Oklahoma, 2-time winner in USAC National Midget Competition this season. Made his first career USAC National Midget start here at Bloomington last year, a 12th place finish for the driver, the number 97K. Gets ready to go to green at the exit, turn number 4 of the NOS Energy start can. We're underway.
Pretty good start there for Ethan Mitchell. He protects the bottom side of the racetrack. Jacob Boxell immediately to the top, trying to make some momentum around of Drake Edwards.
We saw in heat race number 1 where the high side of 1 and 2 kind of going away, and the high side of 3 and 4, the place to be. Kind of continuing to be the same here for a few drivers. Got one trying to prove us wrong on that, though. It's Cale Coons on the outside. That curving at Janie number 63, trying to make hay on the outside. Here he comes charging this time. 1, 2, 3 spots through turns 3 and 4. Take the 63 up to the third spot.
Jacob Denny struggling to find a good rhythm here as he now sits in the fourth, now fifth position as Drake Edwards sneaks by. He had gotten straightened out just a little bit too much here in 3 and 4, but now beginning to pick up that momentum.
Ethan Mitchell leading Cale Drake coming around to turn the fastest lap of the race so far. Cale Coons running in third, Jacob Denny in fourth, Drake Edwards and Jacob Boxell right now sits in the final spot to transfer onto the feature event. Challenge for the lead, no challenge at all to the outside. Cale Drake going to roll right by Ethan Mitchell to take over in this one.
Cale Drake had just a few laps ago slipped off the bottom here in turn number 2, and that allowed a couple of cars to pass him. He's since been on the top side of the racetrack generating that speed, and now he's beginning to walk away with it.
Ethan Mitchell, that car seems like really starting to get unruly on him. You see him really having to twist the wheel back to the left to keep it underneath him on the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. Losing a little bit of speed a couple laps ago in 3 and 4. That allowed Cale Drake to really kind of take full advantage of that run. As we see, the high side of 1 and 2 was gone just a few laps ago. Now we got drivers up there really working as we've got one off of the backside of the speedway and headed towards the pit area. That is the 17 of Alex Shipman. He'll clear the racetrack and we stay green as Cale Drake leads. Ethan Mitchell holds on to second now, right there back in the hunt looking for the top spot.
So Ethan Mitchell coming back at Cale Drake on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to slide up, lets Cale Drake get by, and now Cale Drake again stretching his legs.
Jacob Denny going to close in quick here on the inside. Looks for second onto the back straightaway. He's got it. Ethan Mitchell, that car just no grip on the outside of turns 1 and 2. He'll drop to the deck over in turns 3 and 4 as they come around to the wave of the white flag. Challenge for second. Denied. It will be Denny holding on to it.
Cale Drake protecting the bottom side of the racetrack that time by. Knows he's got one more corner to get through. Is Jacob Denny going to pressure him, though? It's not going to be easy. All the way to the line. Cale Drake going to pick it up.
Cale Drake picks up the win. Jacob Denny in second. Ethan Mitchell in third. Cale Coons, Drake Edwards, Jacob Boxell. Those 6 drivers moving on to the feature event. Mac Leopard, Alex Shipman headed on to your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts semi-feature event. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he's out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. Driving the Einbach Toyota KKM Give Back Classic Curb Breakers number 97K. Give him a hand, Cale Drake. Jacob Denny in second, Ethan Mitchell in third, Cale Coons in fourth, Drake Edwards in fifth, Jacob Boxell in sixth, Mac Leopard and Alex Shipman unofficially rounding out your field. Fifth time this season, Cale Drake has picked up a heat race win. Second time this season, Zach Weigel has been a heat race winner. As USACgear.com heat race number 3 making its way out to the Speedway. If you can't find it on track, you might find it at USACgear.com. Make sure you shop today. And also, don't forget to sign up for Dirt Draft. You can get that $20 digital gift card to shop at USACgear.com if you use referral code USAC when signing up. Stephen Schnapp at Newburgh, Indiana, over the Martins Auto Care Incorporated. JR1 Racing Oil, Esslinger Spike number 11, that's slated for the pole position. Outside of him, it will be T-Maz, Thomas Mesereau at San Jose, California. The England Machine and Tool, T-Maz TV, EA Stealth Spike number 7. Second row from the inside, it'll be Hayden Reinbold at Gilbert, Arizona. The AME Electrical, Indy Race Parts, Reinbold, Underwood Motorsports number 19 AZ. And for the 4th starting spot at Rising Sun, Maryland, the RMS Racing Enviro Fast Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 4, that is Steven Snyder Jr. Third row, inside line, he's out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Sound Gear TRD Bubble 1, number 97, at Gavin Miller. And outside of him, normally that's a 00. Tonight, it's a 20Q. That's Brecken Reese out of Canyon, Texas. The Chandler Grand Prix, Sierra Towing and Crushing, Sonny's Grocery. Speedway Total Link Chassis number 20. Final row from the inside, it will be Jeff Schindler of Evansville, Indiana. The United Mechanical Felker Powered Spike Chassis number 8X. And your final starter comes to us out of Boulder, Colorado. Driver of the Ortiz Nation, Units of Indy, Daredevil Brewery number 35S. That is Chris Hartman. As that'll be your scheduled lineup here for USACgear.com heat race number 3.
So really interesting evolution of the racetrack that we've seen so far. When the heat races started, turns 1 and 2 was pretty bottom dominant, and really nobody was able to make speed on the top. About halfway through heat race number 2, we ended up with 2 grooves all the way around.
So the interesting thing about this track, and we see it every time we come here, where you see the top kind of go away, suddenly it's back, the bottom will go away, suddenly it's back, and you get guys that'll kind of throw that stuff up across the racetrack as they work it in, starts to kind of develop that groove, and we've seen it where the track doesn't clean off, but they kind of throw some of that up there into the middle. It kind of seats in, and then you get that third groove a little bit later on in the night. So one of the neat characteristics of Bloomington, it's so ever-changing, probably more so than any track we go to.
And you can see how much moisture is still sitting in the bottom side of the racetrack. There's a ton of grip down there and a ton of stuff that, like you were mentioning, you can continue to throw up over the rest of the surface.
Of course, the track continuing to address, and they have acknowledged it online. They've had people out here, and they've said, hey, you know what? We know we have an issue. We have rocks in the track. We're trying to get rid of that. They have picked up dumpster loads, truckloads of rocks out of this racetrack as they continue to clean it up. And it shows the last few times we've been here and seen action on track here. The All-Stars here just a couple of weeks ago. The track in much better condition. We see it here tonight as they make their way around to the NOS Energy Start Can. We're underway. Field going to race off into turns 1 and 2. Schnapp around the bottom, going to snap out into the race lead here, but no good. Thumbs down from timing and scoring. Not happy with the start. Again, NOS Energy Start Can. You have to go through that point before you hit the go button. And the 4, Steven Snyder. A little quick on the jump.
Yeah, you could see on that initial start that Steven Snyder had actually began to fan out. So they want him side by side, nose to tail, through the NOS Energy Drink Start Can, and he had kind of fanned out a little bit and made it more of a 3-wide situation.
Trying to get a little bit of a jump. Unfortunately, the officials caught him on it. They come around once again to the start. We're back underway.
7 as a Thomas Meserol having a bit of a hard time taking off there on that second start.
Kind of jumping out into the slick there and spun the tires. That's going to cost him a few positions on the start. As it's going to be Snap trying to come around and lead, but he'll be denied. It'll be Gavin Miller charging the outside up into the top spot.
Gavin Miller running right through the middle of the racetrack in turns number 1 and 2. Hayden Reinbold had followed that suit, and now both moving to the top in turns number 3 and 4.
And we were just talking about how the middle will suddenly come into play, and that is the case for Gavin Miller as he rolls onto the far side of the speedway. Hayden Reinbold up into that second spot. Snap back to third. Meserol in fourth. Brecken Reese and Steven Snyder Jr. right now sitting in transfer spots. Snyder not content. Works to the inside in the EnviroFan number 4. He'll take over the 5th spot as they work into turns 1 and 2.
And Steven Snyder Jr. into the inside of Thomas Meserol, who lets it float up the racetrack a little bit. Now Snyder going to try to stick it on the bottom. Gets a little bit too tight and slides up the racetrack in front of the 7 Meserol.
Razor thin at the exit of turn at number 4. Team is going to take it up to the top of turns 1 and 2 and try to get a run on the 4 to the back straightaway. Snyder going to counter up the racetrack. Team is down to the bottom. Good battle to be in the top 5 here. Couldn't quite get there. Still Snyder holding on to it. Brecken Reese running in 4th. Steven Schnapp running in 3rd. Hayden Reinbold in 2nd. Everybody still chasing the 97 of Gavin Miller. Miller from the 5th starting spot quickly up into the race lead and holds on to it. His advantage just shy of 8/10 of a second with 4 to go.
Brecken Reese applying the pressure to Steven Schnapp. He just got into the inside of the 11 in turns number 3 and 4. And now Steven Schnapp beginning to stretch that lead out just a little bit more. He's on the top side of the racetrack trying to pick up that momentum as Brecken Reese now, both of them to the bottom.
Problems for the driver running in 2nd. Problems for the driver running in 3rd. 2/3 of your podium just suffered mechanical problems. The 19 and the 11 both able to clear the racetrack. Schnapp is still on the outside. And all kinds of steam and smoke bellowing out of that car. Caution. Oh, my.
Well, you saw what looked like sort of like a flashbang come out of that thing.
And there is quite a bit of smoke coming out of the header still on that number 11 as he will come up out of the car. And even through the helmet, we could tell a look of disgust as he peers down into the cockpit of that number 11. A little bit of debris here on the front straightaway. We'll have officials come out and grab a hold of that and get it clear from the racing surface. Replay coming here on the FloRacing broadcast. We're going to be looking at Steven Schnapp here as they work off of turn at number 2. And, man, something exploded on that car as he made his way off of turn number 2. Getting another look at it here. You can see there's a lot of steam, a little bit of smoke kind of billowing out of that thing. And right there, looks like maybe something in the drive line because it's actually back behind the engine.
Yeah, it's well behind the engine. And I saw that steam as he came down the front stretch, and it was hard to tell whether it was kind of smoke or whether it was fluid. But sometimes those things happen, and it's not all that big of a deal. But here, in this case, pretty big deal.
Positioning of that makes you wonder if that wasn't the rear end. We were seeing the vent tube starting to billow out some of the buildup, and finally the rear end coming apart. See if we can get an update from the pits here in a little bit. If you're wondering why Drake's not running out there to get an update, Drake said, I'm going home this weekend. He's out in California. He is covering Calistoga.
I can't blame him. I love going home.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love to go home.
The Louisville Mill Classic, so hope he's having a good time out there. At one point, we weren't sure if they were going to be able to race as a ton of wildfires out there, and they were using the fairgrounds as a staging. And finally getting an update earlier this week saying looks like they've got pretty good containment going, and the USAC CRA presented by Avanto Windows and Doors, they are able to compete this weekend.
And from what I've seen, they've drawn a pretty good car count as well.
They even took Logan Seavey out there.
Yeah, how about that?
I believe I saw he's in one of Paul Silva's cars this weekend, so not a bad ride, and really cool to see Calistoga coming back to life. Of course, we thought that track had been kind of doomed to the pages of history, and fortunately, everybody coming together, getting the track back in order and back online.
So we're going to come to a green-white checkered here as Gavin Miller continuing to lead USACgear.com heat race number 3.
Pair of heat race wins on the season coming into tonight. Brecken Reese still driving with Chandler Grand Prix, but that his father's car here tonight. It's the change in the number of the 20Q. That is the number so common to him throughout his micro career as we go back to green. White flag coming out this time. Steven Snyder Jr. charging the outside of the RMS Envirofan number 4. Going to take over second. Thomas Meserol going to look for third here as he works on the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. Leader onto the far side of the racetrack. Makes his way into turns 3 and 4. He'll have company lurking down to the inside, but he's going to beat him to the punch. It will be the Sound Gear number 97 of Gavin Miller, picking up the heat race win here in USACgear.com heat race number 3. Steven Snyder Jr. and Brecken Reese with Thomas Meserol and Jeff Schindler unofficially your top 5. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, for the 3rd time this season in heat race competition, the driver coming to you out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, driver of the Sound Gear Toyota Racing Development Mobile 1 Kurt Breckers number 97. Race fans, give him a hand, Gavin Miller. Steven Snyder Jr. in 2nd, Brecken Reese in 3rd, Thomas Meserol in 4th, Jeff Schindler in 5th. Christopher Hartman, final driver, moving on to the feature event. Hayden Reinbold and Steven Schnapp, both with mechanical problems, will be scored 7th and 8th unofficially. So heat race number 1, car number 97. Heat race number 2, car number 97. Heat race number 3, it's a pattern here, car number 97. Zach Weigel, Cale Drake, and Gavin Miller all picking up heat race wins. So we'll have our heat race winners come up here in just a moment. They will get a chat with Genevieve Malone and Christy Bemis down here in our B97 Hoosier Country 105.1 FM Victory Lane. Coming up next on the program will be heat races for your super stocks. And we'll check with USAC officials to confirm if the Elliott's Custom Trailers Kart Semi-Feature event will be contested here tonight. And getting the official sign language, no. So everybody on hand will go on into the feature event. We got one. We're looking for 2.